as I said, I was trying to draw a line in between what points you're actually trying to make and what kind of pointers can the audience take home, right? And as far as the points go, number one on the list is empathy, right? You want to be human, right? Or you want to treat your clients as human and as a friend or as a family member. And if you had a client that was guised as a human being or a family member, you would care what this person eats, what this person thinks about, how this person shops, how this person does whatever it is that's important to that person. So ideally, you want to find out what's important and you want to help them with whatever problems they do have. Point number two was you want to go digital, right? And digital in the right way. Don't just have a Facebook page, a Twitter page, or social media, or just stuff for credentials. But you must actually use those platforms for the right reasons. And then that brings me to point three. You need to be strategy driven. And strategy driven, of course, allows you to go digital in the right way. So being strategy driven is kind of like, I like to make this example, it's like being in a ship, right? You have the captain and you have the people that work in the engine room. As the captain, you need to be able to decide the direction and the speed that you're going and where you're trying to aim. And the people in the engine just kind of keep the boat afloat, right? They make sure that you don't sink, they make sure that you're going at the right speed, but the captain cannot be in the engine room, right? Because they need to be upstairs making sure that you're going to the right place. So being strategy driven is saying, okay, this is my product, I want to go digital, but where am I going and at what speed am I going at? So that's being digital, having a strategy for where you're going. Otherwise, you could just be going anywhere and doing anything and wasting resources and time, and maybe you won't even get the results that you want out of what you're trying to achieve with your brand. Number four will be value driven, right? And I think it forms part of strategy, but be value driven. And what we mean by value driven is whatever it is that's your why in your brand or your company, you must be able to state that for your audience and remind them why you're important, because now more than ever, you need to actually show what it is that you do and why it's important for people. Because it's like, first of all, because of the pandemic, cash flow isn't as what you call fluid as it once was. So when we do spend our money, we want to know where we're spending it and why we're spending this amount of money, and will it bring a return. So you as a brand or a business needs to be able to show that very, very, very specifically that A, B, C, D will do A, B, C, D. And you're not just in business for the sake of being in business, or you don't just have a brand for the sake of being on YouTube or being on TV or whatever it is. So being value driven is one of the most important points, I think, personally. And then the last point we mentioned is content. Now, the content part is how you stay active on your digital mediums. So guys, and that brings us to the end of this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the 5 tips that were brought to you by Fonjo Felix that I was able to recite. If you enjoyed this conversation, you can watch the full talk on our platform right here on YouTube, and you'd be able to see all the other points that we brought across as far as strategizing and rethinking about the way that you do things in 2020 or in general in your business. And yeah, if you like the conversation, if you like the content that we produce, do subscribe to our channels. It lets us know that we're doing a good job and to keep it going. And that's all from your host, Matthew Rolls, signing out.